This summer, contemporary art is at the forefront of the Northeast Ohio art scene. There are murals, performances, and sculptures popping up everywhere around the region, from galleries and museums to hospitals, and even inside a church. It's all part of Front International Triennial, an exhibit of over 100 artists from around the world, sharing works that examine our ever-changing social, political, and economic conditions. Recently, we sent our IdeaStream cameras across the area for a look at this unique collection of art, starting with an exhibit at the Akron Art Museum called Office Works by Los Angeles artist Walid Beshti that humorously skewers broken office equipment on 3 steel poles. Ellen Rudolph is the curator at the Akron Art Museum.
These 3 totems are called Office Works by an artist named Walid Beshti. He's taken just discarded office machines and drilled holes through the middle and skewered them on poles. So they have this sort of emptiness to them, and the fact that they don't function, but they still light up and make noise. This scanner bar moves and it will hit the pole, and it sort of sets off this printer to spin. I think it speaks to how disposable these machines are made to be. We've all been there, right? We've all been in the office trying to copy something or print something, and the printer's not behaving or cooperating with us, right? So it also, I think, relates to labor and the work environment.
Virginia Overton is a sculptor and has a long history of working with wood and found materials from the commercial sector. This piece is called Untitled Black Diamond. For this piece, she's used reclaimed wood roof trusses, which came from very humble beginnings and have now been shaped into a very glorious and sort of high-flying diamond structure that has all kinds of symbolism for diamond, vision, translucency, transparency, and I would even venture to say sparkle. And with Virginia's work being so transparent and full of so many angles, basically every time a viewer walks around the sculpture, you're going to see something different about your city and your environment. And I would take that from a literal to a sort of perceptual to an intellectual understanding of where we live.
We're standing right now in the Welltimer Johnson House, which is owned by Oberlin College, and it is currently hosting an exhibition by the Venezuelan-born artist Juan Araujo, who's based now in Portugal. Some people might not even notice that Juan's paintings are living in the house right now. What Juan has done here is to create a cycle of paintings and video for inside and outside of the house that really engage with the history of the home, from Frank Lloyd Wright's original design, which was commissioned by the Welltimer family, to the history of the house when Ellen Johnson lived here. She was the professor of modern and contemporary art at Oberlin, and she had a really magnificent collection of art that lived here in this house with her. Right when you would walk in the house, you would see this really dramatic kind of waterfall almost of gray felt, which is very vertical against the horizontal lines of the house's design. What Juan has done is taken a photo of that, blown up the photograph, and made a painting of that photograph. So I think his interest in architecture and repetition has a bit to do with how images color our experiences, and he has drawn out that interest by looking at a number of artists who were once in Ellen Johnson's collection who were also interested in repetition.
A.K. Burns is a younger artist out of New York City who's really interested in gender issues and a lot of the issues that sort of divide us. A.K. spent quite a bit of time in this neighborhood, and she really was struck by the history of the neighborhood. It's a neighborhood that was really important to the LGBT community in Cleveland, still is. So she was really struck by how the fence, sort of chain link fence, sort of divide properties, protect them. She sees that sort of metaphorically as, symbolizing some of the divides that happen in communities when communities change. She really wants to break those down, so she literally crushed these fences. But she also wanted to make something with some beauty in it too, even though you sort of think of chain link fence as blight. So she painted these fences with hot rod, metal flake, dichroic automotive paint, so that when you see it in the sunshine, it like literally sparkles and changes color. So it's also a thing of beauty. So in some ways, it's a political commentary, but it's also positive and hopeful, because we can break down fences.
We are in St. John's Episcopal Church in the Ohio City neighborhood. It is an 1835 church that was Station Hope on the Underground Railroad. As you enter the church from the front of the church, you see 14 works floating above the church pews that almost look entirely black. And the artist wants the visitor to come into the space and basically reflect in front of each of the items, each of the photographs, and adjust their eyes to what they're seeing. So by adjusting your eyes to looking at the work, you are then following the experience of the slave, adjusting their eyes in the darkness to see what is ahead. The experience of the show is not so much reading documentary photography as it is experiencing the blackness and experiencing the danger and also the discovery of each of these images to be a parallel to the experience of the escaped slaves.